Call to order the regular meeting of the Plymouth Community School Corporation for July 11th. Item 1.1, open, or the setting of the agenda. Do we have any changes?
There were several personnel additions here, just last minute things that happened, as well as some conference things that came in that we put on there. I'm not going to go through each one necessarily specifically right now. Additionally, though, there was a business item that was populated at 3.9, new policies, first reading, a meal charge account procedure, and teacher appreciation grant policy. Both proposals for first reading tonight.
I'll entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda. Or the agenda, I'm sorry.
Second.
Questions? Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, audience participation. We have several in the audience, I'm sure, want to say something. How are you, Rich? Anyone in the audience want to address or say something pertaining to an agenda item?
I believe we have several new staff members we'd like to introduce tonight.
All right. Moving on to the consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, introductions.
I'll go first here for Lincoln Junior High. I have two of our recent hires here. Okay, first is Angela Bronecki. She's going to teach humanities in our Innovation Academy, 7th grade. So I'll introduce her. Go ahead and stand. And we want to tell us a little bit about where you're coming from and maybe how long you've been teaching.
Yeah, sure. So this is going to be my 7th year teaching in middle school social studies. I have taught in the Penn District and the South Bend District, and the last school I was at was in California, actually. So I just finished up driving back here and landing, and very excited to be trying out New Tech with another new addition, which is Rachel Anders. So I'm excited to be here.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
You don't look old enough to teach 7 years.
And then we have Kelsey Hollaball. She is going to teach physical education for us this year. So Kelsey, tell everybody a little bit about you.
Name's Kelsey. I'm from Argus, so wearing this red's gonna get a little. I'll get used to it, but it's gonna give me a minute. Last year I was at Warsaw and Rochester doing fill-ins, so I'm excited to finally have this full time, get some insurance going. I'm really excited, but really excited to be part of this and excited to be ready.
Yes, I know this young lady. Welcome.
Thanks.
I'd like to introduce Kyle Hernandez, and he's coming to us from Hebron High School and most recently from Purdue Northwest. And is going to be teaching 5th grade math and science.
Terrific. Welcome. Anyone else? Okay.
I'd like to introduce Kristen Ulrich. She's a Purdue graduate, and she is coming from Kendallville, coming back to the area originally from the LaPorte area. So she's excited to be back home, and we're excited to have her job again.
Welcome.
She basically filled all that in already, so I don't know if I have anything else to say. But I am super excited about being here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Glad to have you.
Anyone else? If you'd like to stay and enjoy the wonderful interaction of conversation, you may, or you can leave.
You're not going to hurt her feelings. Yeah, I just.
We have a motion and a second on the floor to accept the consent agenda.
Yes.
Have we already voted for that? Yeah? Okay. I'll make sure.
Did they vote on the consent agenda?
Moving on to item 3, business transactions. 3.1, consider selection of newspaper for legal advertising.
So each year we need to select a newspaper for our legal advertising. Recommend that we continue using the Pilot News, as it's the newspaper publication that's most prevalent in Plymouth.
I move that we continue with Pilot News.
Second.
I second.
Discussion. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
I just comment, I think Carol does a good job, and we're glad you're here.
You bet. Item 3.2, consider approval of annual financial report for publication.
Yes, this is an annual report that is based on the end of the 2016 calendar year, and it's to be published every August in the local newspaper, and the report is attached. It's there for your review. There's several sections to it, and this report, annual financial report, is sent to the Department of Education as well. And we have to send proof of publication to them as well.
I'll entertain a motion to accept the annual financial report.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 3.3, consider SJRMC school nurse contract for 2017-2018.
Yes, that is with the St. Joe Regional Med Center. And we met and meet annually with them, actually a couple times a year we meet. And they wanted to increase our contract by about $10,800. And I told them we have budget constraints, and I said, is there any way we can work together to come up with a solution to not have such an increase? And so we worked together, and they reduced it to about a $6,000 increase because, see, they give pay raises, and they have more flexibility in their income than we do. So
Okay.
we had discussion about that. So
I'll entertain a motion to accept the contract.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Will we continue with the same number of employees?
yes.
Do I hope?
That will be the same amount. We will have 7 RNs and 2 health aides. And we added those health aides as an addition because of some special needs.
A couple years ago, yeah.
You know, we had to add.
I remember that.
And those are increasing, so those have been very helpful.
Good.
They have been very appreciative of their help.
Good. We definitely need that.
Mhm.
Anything else? We have a motion and a second. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 3.4, consider school board appointment to the library board.
There's a vacancy on the library board. The new director, Heather Barron, is recommending that Barbara Brown serve a term from July 1st, 2017 to June 30th, 2021. Letter of recommendation, including Barbara Brown's credentials, are there before you. That's for your approval of this recommendation.
I'll entertain a motion to accept this recommendation.
So moved, Bart.
Second.
Discussion. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, item 3.5, consider appointment of local bargaining unit, Mace Insurance trustee.
So this was previously filled by Lauren Cooper. As she moves into the principalship, it's a vacancy that we have. So PEA has recommended Mr. William McIntyre to fill that role.
I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Discussion. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item 3.6, consider revisions to the classified staff conditions of employment.
So a couple things on this. Number one, changes here will reflect us wanting to recognize more of our classified positions that would benefit from having fluency in Spanish. So we had some positions with that provision in there. We added other positions with that provision in there. It wasn't previously there. It's 25%, 25%, not percent, 25% per hour increase. Additionally, changes here address just individuals' eligibility for raises through their evaluation. Per her practice, it's not been written, so we'll put that in there, as well as provisions for CPI training if it's required for a particular position. And then last month, we made some changes within classified positions in shifting from a director of operations to director of facilities for Mr. Schoaf, and Mrs. Usany was approved as director of transportation. This reflects that change as well. And then there were just some grammatical pieces. You'll probably notice the formatting kind of got jumbled up as it was transferred from our document to this PDF. We'll clean that up before it gets published. So,
I'll entertain a motion to accept these revisions.
So moved. Second.
Questions? Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Karen
Aye.
has a question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
In the event that an employee would go back and get training in Spanish, and I don't know what kind of certification they have to have, they would be eligible at any time to get the increase.
if they demonstrated fluency in that.
Demonstrated fluency. Thank you.
We have a motion and a second. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 3.7, consider agreement for residential services.
As we've done previously, we have a student who's been in residential care. We've helped coordinate those services in conjunction with the state of Indiana. This is the contractual agreement for renewal. And so it's presented to you for your approval.
Now, are we in agreement, does that depend on the number of students that are being serviced out there, or how's that?
No, it's just based on the individual student's need. So that's not been a concern for this particular student.
Okay. I entertain a motion.
So
to-
move.
Second.
Questions? Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3.8, revised policies, second reading.
So these are presented for your approval tonight. Again, these policies reflect changes that are required from the federal government with respect to our wellness policy, as well as a guideline in that regard. And then we added a new Better Choice guideline. These went through our wellness committee and had significant work from our food service director, as well as the nutrition consultant through the service center. This is presented for your consideration and approval.
Entertain a motion to approve these policies.
So second.
Questions? Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Item 3.9, new policy, first reading.
No action required on these this evening, since it's a first reading. There are two there. The first reflects what we desire from our meal charging procedure, and that is that if a student doesn't have money for lunch, and they have not or are not qualified for the free lunch program, we'll still allow them to charge their meal and provide them with a regular USDA-approved lunch off our posted menu. There'll be no alternate meals, in other words. It also states that in cases when negative balances start to become significant, our cafeteria staff will send communication home and work with our building administration to help resolve the issue rather than going through the student, the parents and not the student on matters such as that, just to the student's rights.
This does not require any action.
It doesn't. The second policy, if I may real quickly, is coming from the state legislature this past session, the teacher appreciation grant. It reflects the minimal differential as required by law between effective and highly effective teachers. It has to be a minimum of 25% difference between the stipends they receive for effective or highly effective, and so we're going to recommend 25%. We're going to discuss this with PEA at our upcoming discussion meeting, and then have it ready for our next board meeting for approval. There's an element of timeliness with that because the DOE requires it to be in their hands and approved by September 15th, along with our evaluation plan, or the risk of not receiving the funds. So,
Okay.
if you have questions now or between now and then, please let me know.
Okay. Item 4, superintendent's response or remarks.
Yesterday we had a group of students depart for Europe. Pretty exciting trip. And it's coordinated by a couple of our PHS teachers, Ryan Wolf and Melissa Fallstitch. It's, again, an exciting opportunity for this group to study and learn and expand their background knowledge and experience as part of our world's history. So it's neat to see. Caring, we've had several groups reaching out and serving others recently. This includes, but it's definitely not limited to, Riverside students raising money and participating in the Marshall County Relay for Life. I know that was a project that went on during the year, but the Relay for Life event was just a few weeks ago, and it was great to see them participate in that. Our Rocky football team is spending time with residents at Pilgrim Manor. Basketball team was on a service trip that was more than just playing basketball. They were able to reach out and touch some lives. And seeing those things and having those qualities about our district really makes us proud. So it's fun. High expectations. We've mentioned previously, we had a third grade project at Washington Discovery Academy get Project of the Year in the New Tech Network. And with that, we had two of our students present on a national stage in front of, so I thought it was like 1,000 teachers. I think it was like 2,000 teachers in St. Louis. And from what I'm told, stole the show.
There's a video.
Video footage, if you haven't seen it, check it out. Just great to see those kids. I talked to Mrs. Cooper today. She had one of them when she was in first grade, and so it's just really moving to see that growth and development in just a few years. Exciting stuff. Teamwork preparations are upcoming for this school year. For the upcoming school year underway, custodial staffs, they shift their schedule around and really work as a team to give our schools the deep clean they deserve during the summertime. Transportation department, all the positions are filled right now. They've been refining our routes. And then registration is underway. And that's really a team effort, too, when it comes to getting the technology side ready. And then we'll set up for our on-site registration July 19th during the day and July 20th in the evening. So, again, a lot of people working together. We really appreciate all their efforts. Also, just a little project update with that. Paving is complete here. We're shifting to Riverside next. Turf project is nearly complete. Just putting some final touches on there, so we're excited to be able to upgrade those things and have our facilities looking nice. Integrity, I just want to recognize Mrs. Spelke. Thanks in large part to her efforts, we applied for and received a competitive grant from the Education Workforce Innovation Network, and that was done through the CEL, University of Indianapolis. We received that grant. It's going to allow us to explore innovative business and education engagement practices that will help create a career pathway in precision machining to better meet regional employment needs. As we study the data, there are jobs available and going to be available in that area, and so we want to make sure that we form some good partnerships with our kids, can be excited about that pathway and know what opportunities can exist there. So,
How much was the grant?
$15,000. Yep. Help us again plan and form some partnerships, bring people in, provide opportunities for our teachers to go see the work that happens in these places, so that we all just have a better understanding of it. There are some amazing companies right here in Plymouth and Marshall County who do work, folks all over the world that most of us don't know about. So, and then with the enjoyment, personally, because I didn't take it last month, but I express my gratitude to the board for their confidence in me to serve not just our school system but also our community in this role. Just a few days in official capacity, I've had a solid handful of meetings with business leaders and community leaders, just about the existing partnerships and possible partnerships. That's going to continue to make this a great place to work, live, and raise our families. So we have excellent teachers and staff in our school corporation. We're excited to get the school year started and continue our work to make a positive impact in the lives of our students.
It will start rather quickly.
3 weeks away. Our next meeting will be August 1st, Tuesday, August 1st at 7 o'clock. That's our first teacher day of the year. There will likely be an executive session that evening for interviewing a potential employee. And also, I don't think it's in our notes, but if you want to pencil it in, just from another memo I sent you, Tuesday, August 22nd, we're going to have a budget workshop heading into our September meeting. So.
Anything else? Let's go on to item 5, other business. Any other business to come before the board? If not, audience, anyone in the audience now feel the urge to ask or speak?
Laura Pryor, do have two questions. Item 3.3, the contract with St. Joe was increased by $6,000. Do we know how much of a raise the nurses will be getting?
It's not from us, it's from St. Joe.
Correct, but did they give any indication of what they're going to be getting? Okay. Then also item 3.6, which was the classified staff, just want to make sure I understood. So those who are showing fluency in Spanish are going to have an increase of 25 cents per hour. Is there other raises that will be given to the classified staff, or is that the only raise that's in that?
It's the only area at this point.
Thank you.
Carol?
Is the teacher appreciation grant, do we know how much money that is, or is that a floating number?
Floating number, every year it's been different. I think they're hoping to stabilize it a little bit.
I can work it well. Last year it was a little controversial because of the discrepancy that teachers received throughout the state, where you would have some highly effective teacher getting several thousand and then some only getting several hundred. So the state has pretty much revised everything. They have, the way they calculate it is going to change somewhat, and then they also require that 25% differentiation between highly effective and effective teachers. They won't tell us until December, I think it usually is, and then they give us even the timeline in which it has to be paid out.
Yes, we get notified in December and we have to pay it out by December. I think it's supposed to be based mainly on your student numbers, correct?
That's what I'm seeing right now, is that it's a flat dollar amount. I think it's around $30 actually per student. That we're seeing at this point in time, so.
Thank you.
Anyone else? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.